we'll discuss about. Saefwell was founded in 1920 as a security company specializing in providing guards to protect clients' premises. Almost 104-year-old company. So there will be a lot of strength we have. And companies which are globally present, they are more than 50, 60, 70-year-old. Because if you see on average, for example, if there is a startup and if they are doing successfully, on average after 15 to 20 years they'll go for listing. And after 15 to 20 years, another 10 years, they will go into a lot of product developments. Then in 30, 40 years, you see companies start to go internationally. I'm just talking about normal. But some companies can go faster also. And when we are the leaders in the industry and we have global presence, one of the leader, right? We are number 2 as per revenue. So that means company should have been very old as in existing from very olden times. At the same time, it gives us a very important aspect how we are evolving with the time. We have been successful in the change management. In E3, we have discussed about change management. So Saefwell is best example how we have managed the change. We might have seen a lot of change internally and a lot of change externally. So this can also be a strength in your SWOT. Okay. Specializing in providing guards to protect clients' premises. So this was the first thing what you're doing. The company continues to offer physical security services. What is physical security services? We have seen in the previous section. Currently employing.
Misbah, can means not big the screen, because like means everyone is on the screen, so can we just the data, just this information on the screen?
That's what I one second. Now
No, same.
okay.
Same. Possible then means on the screen only this data should come. Saefwell means this page should be only.
Now also same.
Just zoom it. I think.
No, you should just see the screen actually.
Okay. I need to.
You click on the screen. For others, is okay.
Yes.
Pooja.
Yes, it's fine then.
You click
Same.
on that screen. You click on that screen.
Pooja, you are on mobile or you are on laptop?
I'm on laptop.
But is it visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible, but if means all others are also visible here, right? So
You
if
try
only
clicking on
this
the
page.
screen. You try clicking on the screen.
Yes, I clicked on the screen.
Others, what you are seeing?
I'm saying that if on the screen I'm able to see only this page, then
I
it
understood.
will
I understood what you are trying to say, and this is what we do in other classes also, right? Same thing we are doing here. What about Divesh and
now it's now it's better. Yeah.
Shiv?
I am okay. I don't have any issue.
No,
Now it's
are you
better.
seeing other participant also, or only the?
Now it's better when all others are on one side, so it's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
So specializing in providing security is done, and what is physical security? We already discussed. The company continues to offer physical security services, currently employing 460,000. That's a very big number. So you can use this as a strength when negotiating with stakeholders. Which stakeholder is concerned about employability? The government. So this should also be a part. However, this can be a threat also if you are not managing properly. In companies like this, if you have union and you have so much of employees, if they get power and interest, we have seen in stakeholder analysis. Imagine individual employee have high interest but low power, but when they comes in union, they'll have high power, high interest. That need to be considered. Operating in 74 countries, so we have very big presence, but still 74 countries means there is a chance to grow. We can go 100 countries also we can target. So this 74 countries you can put as an opportunity. Saefwell has been a major provider of intelligence-led risk management services. What is intelligence-led? Basically, something which is more of information-oriented. In today's world, we can say data-oriented. Being proactive, that is intelligence-led. Since the 1970s, the company now employs 22,000 risk management consultants, most of whom are based in company's head office in Beeline's capital. So in Beeline itself, we have 22,000 people working in risk management. So what does risk management consultant do? There can be many types of risk. Like basically, consulting is a very broad term. It can be about the internal controls, ERM, what we discussed in the introduction. It can be about the cyber security. It can be about the fraud. It can be about the change management. It can be about changing the business strategy. It can be about the financial risk. All of this can be part of it. So they are located in Beeline capital, and it has 4 regional offices around the world. Risk, the good part is this is not for the management case study. If this is for the management case study, you'll have difficult questions for accounting. I will do group accounts and all. But here we don't have any calculations, and you don't need to worry about IFRS and how it is done. Okay. So therefore, we are not focusing much on that. Risk management consultant expect to travel to assignments, enabling the company to provide almost worldwide coverage for its intelligence-led service. Worldwide coverage, why? Because things are interrelated. Because even our clients must be operating globally, isn't it? So we need to have an idea. For example, geopolitical issues happening, inflation is happening, right? Let's say a company which has its office in Europe also, some countries in Europe and some countries like Turkey. So Turkey has seen a massive inflation. So imagine if you are managing the financial risk of certain companies there, and that same company has office in different countries. So we need to see among that business what special area is getting affected, what kind of risk it is, how it can be done. Saefwell has completed consultancy and training projects in 132 countries over the past 20 years. Again, this can be a strength, and we have a very good experience. And I hope our company is keeping data of all this information. Keeping account of all this information what we have gathered over the years, because this itself will help us to launch new products, go into the new country. When we talk about data mining, what is data mining? Data mining is we have the data and we're trying to get a valid information about it from our current data, and that will help us to launch new product or do something new for the industry. The company was quoted in Beeline Stock Exchange in 1991. Again, around 32 years, 33 years, we can say we have been listed into the stock exchange. Being listed company will bring a lot of challenges plus lot of advantages. However, you can imagine they were almost 70 years without being listed. I don't know what is the reason. Very few companies will, be so long without being listed. What do you think? What can be the reason why they might have not got listed? Anything you can think of? What can be the downside of listing a business like this?
The company
Maybe
is not big at that point of time, right?
sorry.
Because the company is not big enough that point of time, because this listed only done only in 1991 stock exchange.
No, but we are serving people back. I think they have not mentioned when we started internationally, but I believe we must be serving before getting listed also.
Yes.
So if listed, then there are so many requirements which have to fulfill. First of all, compliance issues are there.
Okay.
This is one thing, and
Cost is also there.
I believe one thing is when you are getting listed, you have to give away a lot of information, which maybe the clients are not happy. Because when you talk about your information, let's say if you're listed in UK, you have to give away your major risk also to the clients. Clients are in the major stakeholders. So the confidentiality reduced. So what happens? Our clients doesn't want a listed company. Why? Because if there is a listed company, more scrutiny will happen. They have to do more disclosure, and indirectly their data will also go out. That can be one reason. Because these people usually work, or even their employees work as a shadow, right? Shadow personality. Shadow as in they don't disclose. They have a lot of protocols to follow. Even they are not allowed to disclose to the client certain things, not to their fellow colleagues. You're getting the point? Especially when they are working for VIP clients or the government agencies. That may be one of the reasons. Anyways, we are just guessing. Then Saefwell provides its own training programs for security guards, ensuring that all exceed the minimum requirement for licensing process in their home countries. So training is very important. One thing we can do here is you can write as an opportunity that we can tie up with the universities. We need to do training, but we might need the infrastructure, we might need the faculties, we might need an R&D. If you do everything on our own, might not be very effective. It can be costly and we might not get the appropriate result. So it's good to tie up with certain universities. If you see the top companies, they have tied up with the universities. So please write university also as one of your stakeholders. In fact, many companies have board of directors who are professors in the universities, current professor plus retired professors, like that. Okay. The company provides ongoing training to ensure that all security staff are aware of their responsibilities and can fulfill those in a safe and professional manner. Safety is very important. Their safety, client safety. Saefwell also pays well, exceeding competitors' hourly rates to pay as much as 10%. This should also be a strength, because later on we have seen one of the risk of this business is retaining the employees. So we are doing one thing, that is to pay extra 10%. But obviously just paying extra 10% is not enough. There should be some other incentives also. So in stakeholder analysis, if you are writing an employee, maybe you can add certain examples. We are paying 10%, but what else you think? For example, flexibility at work. Then you can paid holidays, which is again common in developed countries. Then you can talk about uh, health and education for their families, that support. Then insurance, and in promotion we can use our current employees rather than hiring from outside. Like certain companies, like UPS, we have what UPS says, United Parcel Service, their logistic company. They say we promote within. It's the policy. So it will have again some advantage and disadvantage of promoting people within, right? Then Saefwell provides the following physical security services. First is reception. This should be by heart. Okay. When I ask you next time about the Saefwell, you can say my company provides this services, but the industry provides other services. We have seen in the previous. This should be by heart. First is reception. Large office buildings usually have a security measures in place to ensure that one employees and legitimate visitors can obtain access, and only legitimate. Those measures might include requiring staff to operate a gate using their staff pass identify card and asking visitor to sign in at a reception desk, where they are given temporary passes after having their credentials checked. Saefwell use experienced staff to provide reception service because intruders could gain access to sensitive information and could pose a threat to senior managers. Basically, threat to the company. So one more stakeholders have been identified now. Who is that? That is the office buildings. So usually the companies doesn't own the office. Who is owning that? Companies like WeWork. Real estate players are owning the businesses. Or sometimes real estate people have leased to someone and that middle person is subleasing to the office. So there are two chances now. First chance is the company has given us the project directly, the company is a client. Second is the real estate property management like WeWork is a client. What client do you think is better for us? Directly company or companies who are managing the property? I hope you are aware of WeWork, all of you. Yes, no?
No.
You're not aware, Pooja. Okay. Shiv? So, Pooja, WeWork is a company which gives office spaces on rent. For example, somebody is a real estate player and they own a property and the commercial property basically, and they want to lease it to offices, not to the individuals. So they have to approach the company, they have to do the dealings, each one of them separately. So what WeWork said is, we'll take the property from you, we'll lease your property, then we'll sublease it. Many times they develop the property, because when the real estate will design, they might design in a certain way. So if there is any upgradation, any changes required, so WeWork will do. So WeWork becomes a platform. And in fact, sometimes recently they have started giving to individuals also. For example, some we called it a solopreneurs, or somebody is working as a freelancer, they can also get a office space there. Imagine a real estate player dealing individually with the clients or dealing with the startups who have 3-4 employees. It will be a very big headache. They don't want that business model, right? So what they do, they give it to companies like WeWork, and that WeWork will sublease to the offices. So what will happen here? Now the security, who is providing the security? Sometimes WeWork will provide the security because there will be number of offices in one building. It's very rare in a big building that you have only one office, isn't it? You'll have number of offices. So in that case, WeWork will become Saefwell's client. In other cases, if it is a very big company, they themselves want to control everything, then our client will be that particular company.
Sir, but here nothing is mentioned like this, that other companies means we took on lease or something like this.
No, they will not mention. It's not relevant to that. I'm trying to explain you how these things work.
Okay.
They have said we provide security, but I'm telling you how this security will work. We should understand their business model, because when we are B2B, business to business, we should understand the client's business. Then only we can add value to them, isn't it? Imagine we are trying to get this receptionist security, or this receptionist job, or not job, I would say the project, with individual clients. Will not get it. Why? Because in one office they will have one building they'll have number of companies working. So why they will invest so much? So the middle person who is managing the property should invest in it. You must have been to Tech Park in India also, and maybe in UK also. You'll see Tech Park. What is Tech Park? In Tech Park we have so many companies working together in one building or one area, isn't it? But once you enter, there will be a security check which is common whichever company you are, whichever office you are going. Yes, that's what they are talking about.
Yes, sir.
Divesh, if you are out, you can put in chat also if you have anything. So what we are talking about is which one is better for us. Usually dealing with these companies who are managing the property is better for us, because if you get one client for one city, same company might be operating in other city, other country, other continent, and internationally also. Like companies like WeWork, they are present internationally. Plus, we have a lot of national players operating at different levels. All right, Shiv, are you back? Okay. Next is site security. Companies often employ security guards to protect factories and storage sites to prevent theft and safeguard staff. So basically here, when company has very big inventory, or we can say Amazon warehouse, here site security is very important, and they need professionals. And you can imagine, in the warehouse they'll have a lot of products which are expensive. Electronics can be there. They need a security. So procedures can include checking the credentials of employees and visitors who wish to access the site. And certain time they will not allow the visitors, or they'll not allow one visitors coming individually. They have to come with the employees. We'll have protocols. Checking vehicle loads to ensure that dispatches of goods have been authorized, and patrolling site to check that everything is in order. For this, you can take an example in mall also. When you pay the bill and once you go outside, there is a security guard standing and he will count the number of items. I'm sure you have experienced that. Same thing this site security people are doing. Obviously in a more sophisticated way, but the primary aim is same. All right. Many of Saefwell site security staff have, sorry.
Yeah, means it's fine. Yeah, we have seen these things.
Yes. This is for understanding. They won't ask you direct question on that, but you should have basic idea how things work. Okay. Many of Saefwell site security staff have previously served in the military and have the ability to use their initiative when faced with a challenge. So this is how your risk will come in. Now you can see, okay, in this item, what can happen? Imagine somebody is not cooperating. How we'll deal with it? Like that. Next is retail security. Retail security, basically they're talking about large retailers. Supermarkets and other large retailers can lose significant amounts of good and therefore revenue due to theft of shoppers and shop staff. This has been very common, and I mean, in fact, in UK also this is very common. It's a big problem for the supermarkets. Not even big, even small supermarkets have been seen that shoplifters, and sometimes the amount is so low they won't complain. But the problem is the frequency becomes very high, and usually the margins are very small. If somebody just take up some small goods daily, they will start making losses. Saefwell can provide support by providing teams of security staff to deter theft, basically to avoid theft. Security officers can be uniformed in order to provide visible deterrence, or dressed in plain clothes to mingle with customers in order to watch covertly for theft. So basically, this is not about using a lot of physical. This is more about tactical, how you're using, how you're placing your employees. Uh, basically, they'll have some people who are repeated offenders, things like that, and they can work on it. Saefwell shop security staff are trained to gather evidence that can be used to prosecute thieves. They call the police when they identify the cases of theft. This is very basic. So what services we are providing normally? Retail security, site security, and reception. Okay. Now we'll move to intelligence-led security service. This may be the high ticket sale for us because the previous one was quite basic. There are companies who doesn't have good reputation also, they can manage and get that projects, or that liable or basically competent enough to do that job. Risk advisory service. Risk advisory. This should be one of the most important part. Saefwell's clients often seek independent advice on the risk associated with the strategic business decision. What is a strategic business decision for a company? Can you give certain example? Maybe from your own company. What is strategic business decision? And how risk is associated with every decision?
So there can be multiple, like means if we are even going to hire an employee, then also this means hire different employees. Then in that case, this is also a strategic decision. Apart from that, if we are
You are saying
means
hiring an employee is a strategic decision?
yes, because normal operations are
I mean,
you are
normal
taking.
operation is strategic decision, but normal operation which affects the entire business. Hiring an individual employee is not a strategic decision. Strategic decision
Okay.
which affects the entire organization. If you're hiring a CEO, chairperson, that's a
Yeah.
strategic decision, not individual employee.
Yes, yes. And if we are going to merge, means we are
Merger is
acquiring other company. Huh?
acquisition merger. Yes.
Yes. So this is also one of the strategic decision. Apart from that, so earlier
Like
you
changing.
said that strategic decisions are which are our day-to-day operations, means our normal operations.
No,
Yes.
no, no, no.
I
In,
mean,
But on
you,
corporate level, on a complete company level, right?
yeah, there are three level of strategy now, and it's I think the corporate strategy, business level strategy.
Yeah, this thing I know because firstly I was thinking to tell on a means overall level. Okay, so it should be on complete level, the complete company point of view, right? So yeah.
yes, so everything affecting the entire company. That's what I'm saying. Because you said individual employee. Individual employee, if that becomes strategic
Mhm.
decision, we are
Yeah.
taking
Mm.
advisory from this means we have to close the business.
No, no, no. Yeah, I understand.
Employee can be, but if it is a key employee, CFO
Mm-hmm.
is there, CEO is there, chairperson is there, board members are there.
Mm. Yeah, the new product is launching as well as merger. So these things are
Yes,
new. Means we are going to a new market. So these
yes,
things.
yes. So all of this become strategic business decision. So you are a part of strategic team. What questions you will be asked and what you will be dealing is actually a strategic business decision. So in that, every decision will have certain risk. For example, launching a new product, what are the chances of product being successful? What is the risk associated with investing so much money in that? What is the risk associated with raising the finance for that? That will be the risk, and our company will give advisory on that. External specialist consultant might be better informed about potential risk and may be able to alert the board to risks that have been overlooked. Sometimes what happen, not sometimes, I'll say normal for employees and board of directors to have inside out view. They are just focus on their normal operations and they will not have exact view what's having from outside. Even if they have, they look from inside out. But we need somebody who is outsider who can have outside in view, who knows in general how the industry is operating, how the normal market is reacting. So they'll highlight and help us to mitigate the risk which the company has overlooked or ignored. That is the job of Saefwell. Saefwell maintains a detailed database of the threat profiles associated with doing business in 97 countries. Very good job. So if somebody wants to start a business, let's say there is one a very registered brand, they are already into so many industries. Now they want to start a new business or they want to go into new countries. So if they come to Saefwell, we can say we have the risk profile of this country. If you want to start business in Middle East, or let's say they want to do in Dubai, okay, we have the risk profile of Dubai. If you do business in Dubai, we have this type of risk. This 50 risks are top risk for your industry. You can imagine how the job will be done in a easier way. And so can advise on strategic risk associated with international expansion, either through investment or by conducting new business with foreign suppliers or customer. One example can be what is the risk if I have all my suppliers from China? Or what is the risk if I don't have suppliers in China? If I don't have suppliers in China, maybe the biggest risk can be financial. But if I have, it can be geopolitical risk. Let's say the company is based out of US. They'll put import duties, higher import duties if their raw materials is coming from China. Are you able to link it like this? You think? Just link everything to the Real world. Think about your client. Okay, in this, what scenario will work? Saefwell's consultants are also experienced in developing risk assessments associated with other factors such as entering new industries or launching new products. So basically product development and market development. I've told you that we have to make list of product development and market development, 10 product development and 10 market development for our own business. Then we'll talk about others. The firm has considerable expertise in gathering information from online sources, including social media and the dark web. So dark web is something which is not publicly available, but still a lot of information is there. And many times unethical and illegal things also been taken care in dark web. But companies have to be there. How
Means
much we can,
like from Intel Force or something like that? This dark web or how?
dark web is basically mostly people used to do things which are kind of illegal, I would say. Right?
Okay.
For example, buying and selling of things which is not legally allowed, and they use cryptocurrency, things like that, or even drugs kind of things can happen there. But that's also a
Mhm.
risk for the right. So we might be available there as a business only, not as a safe well. We'll be
Okay.
impersonating as a client or something to get the information. Just like government security agencies or spies, they mix with the people, the criminals, and they get the information.
Mhm.
Something same here in the dark web.
Okay.
If requested, Saefwell's consultant can determine whether there is any reason to believe that the client's business is under threat. For example, there could be indication that environmentalists have targeted a clients for protests. This is also a big issue. And this has happened with very reputed company. They have invested so much in buying the property, they've started working, and suddenly the local population was so much against and they have put so much pressure on the government, they have to push the business out of the locality. And this might be politically motivated, this might be motivated by other things. And unfortunately, this environmentalists, you know, they are working for environment, they say, but sometimes just because of money, right? They work in blackmailing. If companies doesn't pay them money in the name of CSR or something, they will not allow the business to go forward. Because what we study in the books and when we compare to the real world scenarios are different. Even with the newspapers, if you don't give advertisement in the newspapers, they'll start publishing wrong news or negative news. That is also kind of a blackmail. But in the real world, it's called about relationship management. You have to give advertisement in all the newspapers, and advertisement is the major source for newspapers, isn't it? So you can give some examples which are of the real world also, no problem. But when it comes to us, we should be ethical. Next is corporate investigations. Saefwell can plan and conduct a tailored investigation to address any concern that clients have with respect to the operations or business relationship. This investigations are very rare. We'll never heard of it also, because these things keep on happening only in the back end. I think 3-4 years it happens with Wipro or Infosys. That one of the senior finance director said that there has been some creative accounting. So he was working as a whistleblower. Then they have initiated a corporate investigations. Then ultimately it found out that it was wrong information. Then the next corporate investigation was, does this person has any personal interest doing that? Because what happened when the whistleblower did that, okay, ultimately the share price fell down. So what happened, a lot of people can buy the shares, and when the things are clear, the share price will back to be normal. So people will make profit in the short term. So there can be a strategy just to drop the share for a smaller time so that people can make quick profits.
So,
Short.
like you have given example of Wipro, so we can write in the exam, like when we are writing about the corporate investigation, that for example in Wipro this thing has happened, we can write. Yeah.
Yes, if Wipro and Infosys, I'll just confirm. But 100%
Yeah,
you
I
have
mean,
to
we
write
can
real
write
world
like
example.
this.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. You should write, because when you're writing in the exam, don't say that in the real world this happened. Assume that Saefwell also exists in the real world. You are part of the real world. Saefwell also exists. There is a country called B-Land also. Everything is in the real world. And when you're talking about, let's say, G4S, don't say a real world company. Say one of our competitor named G4S. One of our competitor Prosegur is doing that. We are doing a role play. So in role play, you have to assume that everything is there, what is happening in the real world. You can give examples of COVID, you can give examples of war going on, something like that. But don't get carried away with it. Okay. Investigations can focus on a wide range of possible issues. Suspected fraud by member of staff. Unfortunately, most of the staff, fraud in a small organization, big organization, anywhere, is being done by internal employees or is supported by internal employees. Because outsiders will never have the information. So here the investigation will be carried out without the awareness of the person who is suspected or the group who is suspected. Fraud investigations may seek to identify the culprit if assets have gone missing. Clients may also have a clear idea of the identity of a fraudster, but wish to gather evidence that would justify dismissal or the pursuit of criminal charges. In the start, I was talking about the cash logistics. If I give you example from India, Prosegur has seen some theft of, the entire money from their vehicle was stolen. But later on in the investigation, it was found out almost every time it was an internal person who was working as a security guard. He planned with his friends. Right? So the internal people was employed and they only gave the tips how to break and everything. The accuracy of information provided in the course of a business relationship, such as checking whether royalty payments are being made in full, this can be there. Investigation that accuracy of information provided by a key job applicant, including the validity of claim that the education and prior work experience. So there is one very famous company called First Advantage. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yes, sir.
So you have heard of it. What they do, Pooja?
I just remember the name. This name I heard, but not exactly, but all these things.
All right. So basically, when I was about to join Deloitte, they have done background verification for me also. So this is very common for that. For employees also they will do, individuals also they will do, corporate investigations also do. And if you want to do it at a personal level also, it can be done. I'll just show you their website quickly. This is one of the top company. Right? Can you see new screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir, we can.
For example, you are based out of UK and you're hiring a client locally. Like let's say it was a student now converted to work visa, and that person is showing 5 years of work experience in India. So they will do all the scrutiny of the last 5 years. They'll go to the company, they'll inquire, and they'll get a written document saying that that person was part of the team. Firstly, secondly, they will inquire with the police department and the legal authorities. Is there any case registered against that person? Right? Then they will see if there is even financials also can be added. It depends on the company what kind of work you are giving. Even financials. Sometimes what happen, certain person have a lot of loans and a lot of liability. So companies will say we are paying them less, their income is less and their expenses are more. So there is a high chance this person can be part of any fraud. So they'll put it under red flag.
So they
Then
do,
they'll
I
ask,
think, some kind of alcohol testing also.
alcohol testing, I mean, health they will
Right.
do. Alcohol is like it's not illegal, right? And it depends on that day if they have drunk and all. That's a different thing, because if you are making law which is against the local law, so it will not held valid.
But they do this thing also.
Yes, they might do. They might do anything. They might go to any extent depending on what you're telling. What example I was giving is about an individual. Now, when it will be specific for the fraud, they can go to the next level. And what happens is once they do it for the first time, then the same employees, when they go to the next company will not need to do everything from the scratch. They'll just buy the information from First Advantage, because First Advantage has already done all of this. Background checks, yeah, drugs and alcohol testing. Maybe some people are. I think this drugs and alcohol testing is more about if people are addicted to that.
Yes, sir, I think so. Yeah.
Because in certain countries the addiction is very common. In fact, recently, if you have read the news, in Germany they have allowed a certain percentage of drugs to be legal, marijuana or something. Small quantity is legal. That means people can consume it openly. In places like this where the drug abuse is more, this can also be a part of it. Why they are doing drug screening? Taking preventive measures to avoid potential harm to a brand, business, and employee is a critical step for success. So please do some research on this company. Also go to their website and see out of this what work we can do. In fact, I would say First Advantage is also one kind of competitor to us. So when you were making a list of product development or market development, take something from this also, and we can start that in Saefwell. So it's more of a drug. If it is normal alcohol, I don't think so. Company should have a problem, but in that, okay. But a very good analysis for you. So I would recommend spend some time on this. You see, executive screening also they are doing, background check also they are doing, fingerprinting, so many things. Certain companies will do this when they're hiring for middle level or senior levels, but big companies they may do for anybody who is at entry level also. Because what can happen if one person does any mistake who is representing our company, it will affect the entire reputation of the business. And we don't know how much that reputation can affect us, how big that loss can be. Intellectual property also you can do it. Okay. What we have found in subject backgrounds, 10% have credit issues. 35% of resumes contain some form of deceptive past employment information. 38% of your work history, incongruence, employment dates or employment gaps of at least 6. So wrong dates, have tax liens, subject listed to daters in tax liens in the name or for a company they own. So if you see, a lot of internal risk have been already managed. For example, higher education. If you are saying that you're CIMA qualified, so they'll approach CIMA and ask that, do you have the details of this person? Do you confirm this person is a member of the community, member of the association? Right. Got it? So please do some research on this. Shiv, are you there?
Yes, yes.
So please spend some time on that. It's very good. So that corporate investigation, almost everything is covered. You know, the best thing about pre-scene analysis is if you're able to link to the real world, if you're able to understand from a real world perspective, you have done it. That's it. Because just reading these two paragraphs will not give us complete idea until we compare to the real world, until we have the real examples to, relate to it. Then only our understanding will be better, and even you can explain better in your answers. Okay.
Correct.
From that website itself, you will get a lot of options for new product development. I'm sure we might not be doing all what this First Advantage is doing, because they are focusing only on background checks specifically. But what we are focusing on physical security and different types of things. There is a chance we can acquire First Advantage. We can think of it, or let's say merger or strategic alliance. Depend, because they have so much of data. And one thing we can understand in this business is data information is very, very important. A lot of mergers and acquisition can go forward if they have the data. like we have for 135 countries, right? We have worked in 135 countries. That gives us a massive edge. If you want to start from scratch, it will take decades to come there. No company would like to do that way. Then penetration testing. Saefwell's consultants can evaluate client security system both physical and online. Previously, it was more physical, but online has become very important now. Security checks can involve documenting and reviewing control systems, looking for weakness and advising on improvements. Penetration test. What is penetration test? To see if an intruder is coming, if a hacker or anybody who is not allowed trying to get into the system, how much they can access, what all they can do. Called penetration test. The penetration test of IT system can involve the use of social engineering to obtain access to client system. For example, consultants might attempt to trick staff into revealing their IT system. Login details, systems are clearly at risk if they succeed. Training also we are providing. Saefwell consultants are frequently asked to provide training to update technical skills and knowledge of clients managers in roles that involve risk management. So we are, training them also and basically supporting them. This word was used in the introduction also. Again, I would suggest here the tying up with the university is very important, because if you are training somebody, first you should be continuously upskilling yourself with the latest trends, with the latest risk, with the latest threat, right? So tying up the university
Correct.
can be important. Why I'm saying university? Because they already have all the infrastructure, they will have very experienced professors, and it's their full-time job, right? They'll have ethical hacking courses going on, they'll have cybersecurity courses going on, analysis, data analysis. We can even hire people from there. We can give internship to PhD students or master students, and if they are good, we can convert them to full-time job. Because here, one of the, I would say, threat, finding people who are so much skilled, that too practical, is very difficult. Honestly, the biggest problem across industry is practicality. People are very good in theoretical. Even if somebody is, let's say, graduate from Harvard also, they might lack what need to be done in a practical environment. And if somebody is very good in practical, they still need a theoretical thing to go forward. So mix of both is important. So we'll find somebody who is good in theoretical and a little bit of practical, then we can train them onto the practical aspect with us. Then they'll go and train our clients. In fact, there was one question in the previous pre-scene, that shall we tie up with the university and make our own course, basically design the modules, motivate the university, invest some amount in that, and say that we want to design a course for you. And what will the advantage? Every student who is part of this course will get an internship opportunity with us, guarantee. Let's say there are 100 students, so all 100 will get a internship opportunity with us. And out of that 100, whichever is good, we can give them full-time job.
It's a customized course basically,
Yes.
according to the industry requirement, according to the company requirement.
Yes. So you see, it's a win-win situation. University can market that
Yeah,
to get the students. Students will be happy because everybody wants, practical job-oriented course. And for us as a company, we'll get talented people. And we are training them what we actually want.
so good ecosystem basically.
Good ecosystem. If you see company like Zoho, what they are doing,
Mm.
and a lot of other companies, even IBM and all, many of them are now deciding to hire people based on their aptitude, intellect. They're not very much concerned about the degrees. And once they are good at it, they'll train them themselves, and they'll get promoted from their experience and their performance.
Correct.
In fact, I know some
Now,
students who are doing with us, they have not taken
Mhm.
admission in any bachelor's degree or master's degree. They're just doing CIMA, and they've got a job.
Okay.
The value of a degree is actually changing, is evolving. The biggest problem
Yes,
is they are very theoretical. What we
correct.
need to
But
learn
I
is
think,
case study.
yeah.
Sorry, tell me.
Mm. But now I think the institution, they can they now they wake up actually. Now they are looking right. The practical aspect is required. Theoretical is required plus top of that practical. So now they are modifying their syllabus and all courses.
Yes, those who are modifying, they will survive, others will not.
Yes.
For example, now CIMA doesn't used to have this case study before 2015, but now they have case study and they'll keep on changing the syllabus. 2019 they change, 2015 they change. Now again this year end they will update it with the latest trends happening.
Correct.
Otherwise, if you are studying something which is not similar to what's happening in the real world, imagine we are doing this risk management and we don't talk about cyber risk or online risk. That means we have left more than 50% of the risk there itself. Okay. Clients also seek training to inform and equip senior managers and directors who have responsibility for supervising controls and risk management procedures. All of Saefwell's consultants have the necessary skills to facilitate training course in their area of expertise. Using its consultant in this role enables Saefwell to ensure its training course make the best possible use of consultants' experience. The best part of our business is if we get some client for training, we can cross-sell other services. If we get somebody for physical security, we can cross-sell training. That is a good opportunity for us to improve the revenue.
What is cross-sell?
Cross-sell is if somebody is coming to buy one thing, let's say they are coming just for training. So they might need physical security also. So we can sell them other product or service also.
Okay.
If somebody is coming us for physical security. So with time, once we create trust, we can tell them, okay, we can provide you training also. We can provide you risk management also. We can provide you background check also.
Okay.
Creating an ecosystem. That's what Apple is doing. They started with mobile, but now they have created an ecosystem. Now laptop also you can come to us. Headphone also you can come to us. VR glasses also you can come to us. Smartwatches you can come to us. They have created
Now they are into cloud also.
Yes,
Cloud business, cloud.
similar things they are doing.
Yes.
Same thing with Adidas and Nike. Start with shoes. Now they are doing all types of clothing. So anything to do with the sports, they have wearables almost.
Correct. Everything. T-shirts, trouser, everything they are now into.
What they have specifically for tennis is different. Track and field is different. Marathon, like it.
So again, they are diversifying, right? The product development, right? Means
It's of product development, but it's very relevant product development because once you have, if you're buying a shoes from there, buying a t-shirt also will be easy for you. If you're buying a t-shirt, you'll buy a shoes because you have got that level of trust.
correct.
We have to do at Saefwell. If you're doing training, then make sure they do physical security also from us, risk management also from us.
All under one roof, actually, we can say. Like in
Yes.
all services, we can provide like
Because the
customized
problem
solution.
is, for one services, if they go to our competitors, then maybe these services also will lose tomorrow. Because competitor will also be following the same strategy.
Correct.
Saefwell relies on both physical and intelligence-led security services. The following analysis is based on company's financial performance for the financial year end 31st December 2023. If you see, physical security is around 85% and intelligence-led is 15%. So what does it tell us? There has been major contributor of physical security, but once we see what include in physical intelligence-led, our core competency can be more of intelligence, training, penetration, because this physical security is quite common. Even a small and medium companies can do that. It doesn't require a lot of expertise. However, there can be one thing, they must be working like other financial service like Big Fours. If you see in Big Four, their revenue coming from audit is how much? Around 5%? Something like that, isn't it? And where their
Yes.
majority, sorry.
Yeah. Majority revenue coming from the consulting business.
Consultancy. But why people choose them for audit? Because they'll help them in audit. and why companies do audit at a lower price to maintain the relation. Once they get for audit, getting for consultancy is very easy. And there has been a lot of ethical issues about their dominance, and they'll help companies in audit and stuff like that. They'll say their revenue is coming from consultants, less than 10%, around 5% revenue is only from audit. But just because they are helping companies in audit or they're supporting, they are getting other consultancy services. Imagine they stop doing audit, their consultancy business will also go down. 100% it will go down. So that's how certain business work. To attract the client, you have to do something. Maybe the first step will not generate revenue or minimum revenue. But once it is done, once you have got the trust, you'll do the other things. So I believe that may be also one of the reason here. But still, we don't have any data or exactly to understand.
Even Saefwell mission is also saying, we want security industry most trust service provider.
Yes. I mean, this is
If you look-
security is all about trust.
Yeah.
Because the budgets and the clients for intelligent-led services will be very less. Let's say out of market, 20% people need this, but 80% people need physical security. Even if it is a small company, they'll need physical security. What G4S has done, almost, most of the countries in the world, G4S is there. And it's not about very, very big business. Even small businesses, I have seen G4S. 4P security is also required, G4S is there. Why? Because they know 80% market is in physical security. Not companies are sophisticated. Not much companies are sophisticated for online and other stuff. Especially in the developing countries, again, they'll say there is a high demand for physical security. But they can create trust through other services. However, this thing can change. There will be increase in intelligence-led services also.
They
Operating-
can increase their actually on intelligence-led services because there is a huge market actually for that.
It's growing.
And
Growing
it's
market.
growing also. And at the same time, they have, consultant around 22,000, right? So they can utilize, they can create more employment opportunity and increase their revenue share. And if you look at the operating profit, now you're coming, right? See, 75% belongs to physical and 26 belongs to intelligence. If you look at the margin level here, like, while you calculating this, back calculation, you will get the margin. So 40% GP margin belongs to physical, whereas intelligence, it is 28%. So it's almost double. So this is the biggest strength actually. If you look at the margin, revenue wise segment, intelligence-led service having more margin. So this is a good business actually.
Right. But physical security is still a major part of it. We need to continue that and understand the intelligence-led security services will also grow with the time. However, if we think from our risk perspective, to maintain intelligence-led security service, we need more expertise. Isn't it? We need training. We need to hire employees which are experienced. We have to pay very high salaries. But if you compare to physical security, the requirement is low. You don't need so much of expertise. But again, the problem is because of the confidentiality of the information, you just think as a business owner, would you like to give somebody physical security and somebody intelligence led? It's better we give both to one company because many times they should also share the information within. If it is two companies, then you are sharing information with two companies. Again, there is a chance of information going out, right? Next is about mission, vision, and values. This is very important. In E3, we have discussed this, if you remember. Can you tell me what is mission, vision, and values? Don't read that. What does it mean? What is mission? What is vision? We have discussed it. Why company has mission? Why they'll have vision? Pooja?
Sir, mission means what is the primary objective of the company? It can be means not only financial, it can be others also. For example, you have given example of Google. So their main objective is to arrange the information.
Very good.
So this is the mission, and the vision is, uh, vision is, I would say, to obtain that main objective. But objectives are there. So that is vision, and values are different from for different company. Like a company want to be innovative, a company want to be uh, mm, want integrity also. So these kinds of value can be.
Correct.
Okay.
Same like vision also, it's like short to mid to long term objectives to meet in the industry.
Right.
Like
So yeah.
means it's like range. It's not like infinite, but it's a short term. Some vision is that we need to achieve this much. This we need to achieve. We need to target we need to achieve 180% of the market share. So this is the target. Like mid to long term. This is our vision actually. Our to achieve the primary objective.
Right.
And values again. This like our core values. Like we are ethical. We are innovatives. So all those stuffs, right?
Right. So mission is basic, the fundamental why we exist. We cannot say our mission is to make money. Then company will not be successful, and it obviously will not be taken positively by the stakeholders. Mission is why we exist, and we have to communicate to the others. There are a lot of other people doing the same services. Why you exist? Why do you think you are different? What extra you are trying to do? Right. Just one second. Yeah. So mission is why we exist, and this is used as a communication to the stakeholders also, and how you are different from others. Sometimes mission will be directly telling about our business, sometime it won't. Usually mission is less than one page, but companies usually try to keep it even smaller, one sentence, two sentence. This can also be something as a selling point. Okay, so what we are saying here, Saefwell's mission is to provide clients with the security solutions and services that they require in order to be able to focus on their core business. Very, very simple mission. One of the most simple mission you can see about the business. So what they have done, they have tell you in one line what business they are doing. This can be a best example of a mission. Very straightforward and very simple. Right. But can we do, for example, now they have talked about only security solutions. We want to do something beyond that. Can we go beyond our mission? The answer is yes. Can the mission be changed over time? The answer is yes. It can be changed also. Then coming to the vision, vision is our target. Basically, this is a long-term target, we can say. Once it is done, our vision can be changed. Vision is not permanent. Even mission can be changed, but vision keeps on changing once you achieve it. Okay. So what is the vision? But sometimes companies will put a vision which is open-ended. Open-ended means you cannot actually calculate directly. Let's say what they're saying. Vision is to be the security industry's most trusted service provider. This vision is a little confusing. But let's say they say Saefwell's vision is to be the largest company in the industry. So once we achieve, let's say, the highest revenue, we can say we have become the largest company. Or once we achieve the largest market share, we can say we have achieved the vision. But here vision is little bit uh, psychological, I would say. It's more about trust, and how you will measure trust. It can be subjective. Saefwell's vision is to be the security industry's most trusted service provider. However, you need to link this to your answer. If they ask about certain things, our plan, and if you feel like doing anything will affect the trust, remember one thing: we are more than 100-year-old company. But if there is a small problem with the trust, the entire business can collapse. Trust is the most important factor here. Why they're giving us this service? Because they don't trust their own employees. But imagine the companies like us or our own employees are doing certain things. what will be the reputational risk? I think the biggest risk for this business can be a reputational risk. We have an entire chapter on reputational risk. We'll see that in detail also. But now we can understand trust is the most important factor, right? Next is values. Values is our principles. So basically, we should not compromise on this for short-term gains, long-term gains, just for the profits or things. Okay. So Saefwell is responsive. What do you mean by responsive? Responsive means what?
Means
I'm asking.
means there is responsibilities of Saefwell. If they are taking any project, then they are responsible for that.
Responsibility
No,
and risk. I mean, they have to be responsible,
responsible.
but here it's different thing. I think. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
responsive. I think
responsive.
this one is act like, to act promptly or proactively. Like, something happened, some incident happened, so they are very
Yeah,
responsive. Immediately, they can act
response.
on that to resolve the issue.
Yes. So responsive means they are very quick to act, because here we are trying to be proactive. But no company in the world can say we have mitigated all the risk or we have planned for all the risk. Even if you have got 1,000 risk, 1,001, 1,002 will come, because nobody knows the future. Right? Maybe you're dealing with the CEO of the company, and the CEO tomorrow itself want to harm the company because company didn't pay him the proper remuneration. He worked decades for the company and no respect. They want to take revenge. Things like this can happen. So even they would have not planned it. Responsive is quick to act. Second is Saefwell is innovative. Innovative means basically we are finding innovation in technology. It comes with R&D. So R&D should be a major expense for us. One of the major expense. Remember this point also. And how we can improve an R&D. Basically in this business, R&D can be motivated by what? By the data we have, by the information we have. We have to see what's happening in other industry, what people are thinking. There was a recent incident in Bangalore, not very relevant, but still, the managers were putting so much pressure on the employees. They hired some people and just beat up the manager. It was a very big news. It's not about that, but how much people can get frustrated. And as a human being, they want to react to it. This thing can happen. Even in cyber attack, last time I discussed, around 60% is within the employees or our ex-employees. Why? Because they were not treated well. So what we have to do? We have to firstly treat our own employees very well. We should be transparent. We should be communicating with them. Because if somebody is giving their entire life for a company, they'll expect something in return. Isn't it? Plus, in training, we should highlight this point. Third, when there is something happening, let's say there were 3 people to be get promoted and one person got, so other 2 might feel envy. So we should keep a special check on that person. That is also our learning in this business. Okay. Saefwell, next value, Saefwell treats his employees with respect and care about their safety. This is a very good point, with respect. Remember what I told just now, we cannot compromise on our values just because we are getting certain business or short-term financial or non-financial benefit. So we have done a very big commitment that we want employees to be respected. It's very easy. They might face certain situation in work which is very much disrespectful, especially in the physical security, abuse, and so many other things. So what we want to do, in fact, in risk management, they have highlighted will not take projects or work where our employee safety is at risk or their dignity is at risk, cares about their safety. So we are caring for their safety, plus our employee safety is also very important. That means we will not take things which is very high risk, which can affect our employee. Okay. So whenever we are talking about investment, capital expenses and all, we should promote innovation. We should promote our quick response and work for the safety and respect of the employees. You need to remember all three. Now you should learn vision, mission, and values. You don't need to learn word by word, but you should have an idea what they're talking about. Any confusion?
No.
Now the next part is very important, the board of directors. In fact, we have an entire chapter in corporate governance in P3 where they talk about board of directors. That time also we will be coming back to it. Okay. This pre-scene will be always a point of reference until we go for the exam, because everything we are trying to link at it. Okay. But now what we are trying to do is every person will try to understand what expertise he or she is bringing in. Firstly, what is their background, how long they have been in the company, and any company is as good as their board of directors. So also we need to go to our competitors website and see what is their board skills and compare. Are we good enough? Are we ahead of them, or are we lacking in certain skills? Okay. Again, it's good for you to remember the name and the background, at least for key persons like chair, CEO, CFO. You'll have access to the pre-scene in the exam, but it's good to know the background. Because let's say we are going for a market development and they have given in the question one person is from that country. So you can say like Mr. Greg is from this country, coming from that country, so that person should lead that special project. Right? And one more small task for you. When you are doing SWOT analysis, okay, like we have already done. So please add some points from board of directors also. 2-3 strength, 2-3, at least 3-4 strength, weaknesses, opportunity and threat. Only focus on the board members.
Okay, so basically board analysis, right? Board member analysis.
SWOT analysis of board, I would say.
Okay, okay.
Because when we are launching a new product or new market, where you will go? You'll go in a position where the board has expertise. You'll not go anywhere without having a idea about it. When companies decide certain things, they're deciding because they have somebody in the board or the top who understand that thing. For example, when Nike wanted to start the smart watches, so they have people from Apple who guided them, who was working as non-executive directors to motivate them to start the smart watches. Without expertise, they won't do it. Okay. So first one is about our non-executive chair. Firstly, what is the difference between executive and non-executive? Executive is the people who are working in the business full time, who are part of the execution team, working on it. There are employees working for decades, or somebody might have joined new, but they are internal to the employees, internal to the company. Non-executive directors, on the other hand, they are part of the board, but they are not involved in execution. They are not involved in operation. Therefore, they are called non-executive. Right? And why we need non-executive and executive? Because the non-executives are not involved directly. They'll be like a guiding partner. They will be like a scrutinizing partner. They will be like giving an outside view. Many of these non-executive would have been executive director of other companies in the past, or currently also they will be part of other companies. So basically, we don't want to give entire power to the executives, because what has happened in the past, the executive directors, they are working together for years, they became friends, and they said like, you approve my bonus, I'll approve your bonus. So what was happening? The shareholders, the real owners, were having the problem. So in order to reduce their power, we have got non-executive directors, and we'll get non-executive directors who are independent. And what is the definition of independent? That all we'll see in detail. But independent means they should not have any personal gain or loss in any decisions. For example, we'll not have a non-executive directors who is our client, because if we have that person, will say, okay, give discount to that client. Or we'll not have a non-executive directors from our supplier, because definitely they'll influence that you buy from my company. All in all, this is a strategy of risk management. We don't want any single person to dominate the board, or any person who is working for their personal interest before the company's interest. Make sense? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Right. And one more thing is, according to UK corporate governance, which we are following in our exams, we should have.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Means I would join now in 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, okay. Yeah. One more thing to remember is, as per UK corporate governance, we should have 50% executive and minimum 50% non-executive directors, or we can say independent directors, excluding the chair. Why we are saying that 50% should be non-executives? Because imagine if we have only one or two, and we have, let's say, 6 executives and only 2 non-executives. So again, they will pressure the non-executives. They will overpower it. So therefore, we need to have a balance. And in fact, we should have a chair also. Chair is also non-executives. So we'll have more non-executives than the executive. That's the minimum. But some companies can have even more. One of my
But
yeah.
yeah, Misbah, one thing just wanted to interrupt. This one, how do we understand, this balance board is required, like, composition board, composition should be there in this one. Where it is mentioned actually, in E3 or P3, where it is mentioned?
You see, directly they cannot give in textbook, but in
Hmm.
P3 they have talked about it. P3 we have a chapter called corporate governance. There they have given
Hmm.
hiring about non-executive directors. What you will see when you hire. Basically,
Oh.
the
Hmm.
hiring will be done according to the industry. Now, if you are hiring for Saefwell for a new executive, non-executive directors, what you will look? You look somebody who can contribute to a business.
Correct.
For example, now we have got an NED who was part of a real estate company. So we need to think what value he or she can add. If no value means will not hire. Simple as that.
Correct. Correct. Understand.
And about the balance, what you ask?
Hmm.
Balance, we can see the number of people they are there. It's very simple.
Yes, yes, and also this, that's audit committee chairperson should not be part of the audit committee. All these things where it is mentioned actually in which textbooks. P3.
P3, yes. We'll discuss that in P3.
Okay, 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 fine.
If you want, I can share you today. You can start reading it.
Yeah,
I'm planning to start from Sunday. I'll share this now on the group.
better. Yeah,
Once
sure.
we do that chapter, we'll again come back to this. However,
Sunday most probably, Ms. I will not be available. Okay, Sunday class.
okay, okay.
Okay,
Sunday will not
so
cover corporate governance. We'll start with the risk
okay,
introduction. That's fifth chapter. We'll send
okay,
the
okay,
recording, and once we do corporate governance, maybe the next week end. So by the time you can
okay,
be up.
okay.
But most important is, please learn this person and their background. This will be helpful.
Background.
We are going step by step, and I am assuming whatever we have done in E3, the change, the strategy, now the analysis, what I am giving, you are doing it
Hmm.
complete. We are just doing dot by dot. Once we
Correct.
reach towards the end, everything will be covered, and you can write a very beautiful answer.
Yes, yes, yes.
Trust me. I hope you can also connect little bit of dots. You're
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
work very smartly.
Yes, yes, yes.
Not only about the exam shift. I'm trying to do in such a way that our knowledge and the understanding should also improve.
Correct, 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 correct. Absolutely.
Otherwise, there is no need to talk about so much real world examples. Every
Yes,
time
yes, yes.
stopping and relating to the real world.
Yeah.
Why? Because our understanding should go up.
And also, if I look at that, this securities company, so I can get a lot of information actually from their annual report, from their sustainability report. A lot of things are coming actually. Their revenue model, their source of revenue from different backgrounds. So, lot of things are there actually in that.
Yes.
In Saefwell, they are not mentioning that they are selling this equipment also, that remote control and access control system. They are not selling. Okay, but if you see the real world company, they mention that they are selling the to the customers across the globe. The equipments also, not only service provider, security service, but also they're selling equipments. So
I
that is
think
also there.
we are also doing it. They have not mentioned clearly because in the pre-scene there will be a lot of gaps. Maybe in the exam day you will see directly that we are selling it.
Ah, okay, 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 fine.
So that company which is very, we discuss on the group also. What is the company name that is very similar to us? In
Means
fact,
I would say 60 to 70% is matching with that. Exactly the core business, exactly their even mission also tallied.
very good.
Vision
Okay.
also tallied. So that's what I'm saying. Actually, it's a replica of the same security company.
Yes, yes.
So we can get a lot of information. They have recently acquired Stanley, one company. You
Very
know,
good.
so they mention in this report also, how we acquired, the purchase consideration which we are given according to the, the goodwill has generated. And so everything is there actually in that annual report.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So these examples we can give, and we can spend more time on Securitas, that company, other than other businesses.
Yes, yes, yes. It is very similar actually. Very similar.
Good. So let's get started. So first we have Dr. Pratima Takli, non-executive chair. Pratima holds a doctorate in finance. So that's the strength. Expertise of the finance. Finance knowledge is always helpful. She had a successful career in banking. Again, banking. If you have relationship with the bank, maybe you are aware also, Shiv, there are some people who are working as a negotiator. If you want to take a loan from the bank, you go directly as a company, they'll tell you different rates. And if you have a negotiator, they'll get at least 0.5%, 0.25%. That makes a very big difference when you talk about millions, billions.
Correct, correct. Absolutely.
So that advantage
Yeah.
we have got because this person was having a very good career in banking. If you're taking debt, she should
Yeah,
be negotiating for us or working on that as a
correct.
lead.
Because she has a good network of all banking people, so she can also arrange the financing part. She can support to the CFO in this matter.
100%. And she is expertise in finance, doctorate, not just a bachelor or degree. Doctorate
Yes,
means
yes, yes.
he has very,
Yeah, it's a high level.
yes, including a period in which she served as a chief executive of major commercial banks. She was a CEO. Now, what do you want? Anything
Mm.
with the bank, we have a very strong person. She retired from banking in 2020, joining Capital City University as visiting professor in banking and financial services. Two skills. I was just telling you, we need relationship with the university. So Dr. Pratima is bringing two things. She is also part of the university. She has also good idea with the banking. So if you are doing a strategic alliance with the university, that would be helpful. If you're dealing with the bank, she will be helpful. Pratima joined Saefwell as non-executive chair in 2022, just 2 years back. Why this joining time is important? Because according to corporate governance, it is suggested when somebody is working for a long time, let's say around 9 years, it's good to replicate them and get a new person with a fresher perspective. Usually, people who join the board as non-executive directors, they are quite old as in very experienced. They must have worked as CEO like this person, Pratima, and they cannot dedicate more time here. So you cannot have a non-executive directors, let's say for 20 years. No, you should just keep on replacing them to get a fresher perspective. What can be the time? Timing depending on the board, but usually around 8 9 years. If they're performing also, they can be replaced. They should be replaced.
So this 8 9 years timing period, from where we get it this information? This P3.
Yes.
Okay, it's mentioned there, right? As per
Yes.
the governance section.
Yes.
Okay.
But usually companies will replace in 5 6 years only. And sometime if they are not performing, within 1 2 years also they can be replaced. Everybody's performance should be evaluated. Even the chair, the CEO, all non-executive directors. If anybody is not performing, they will be replaced.
But why non-executive director is required actually? I don't understand. Executive director, okay, those who are run the company, those who day-to-day operation, everything they are involved, right? And
Yes.
why NED is required?
Very good question. First, the primary reason of NED is to manage risk. So what has happened in the past? In fact, in 2008 financial crisis also, who is the owner of the business? The shareholders, right? And who is
Correct.
running the business is the executive. They are known as agents. So what has happened? Agent has the entire power. So what agents were doing, they are taking decisions for their personal benefit, then the shareholders benefit. For example, we have decided to give bonus on the number of profit they are earning. So what they will do? They will not do capital expenses. They'll save the capital expenses and just improve the current year profit as much as possible. Why? To get more profit, to get more remuneration, more bonuses. That means they are working selfishly for their reason than the company's thing. First point. You're getting the point, Shiv.
Yes. I'm getting.
Second reason can be they there should be someone to check if they are working effectively or not. Let's say there are 4 people who are executives, 5 people, let's say, and they're 5 working for 10 years. So they will become friends. They won't complain about each other. They'll say, you also enjoy, I'll also enjoy. We'll do a deal. And ultimately, company will lose. So who is there to check their performance? And you will say, okay, each others will check each other's performance. But that will not happen because they have become
Correct.
friends and they are working for a very long time.
Hmm.
Familiarity threat will come. So we need somebody who is independent, who is checking them every time, who is not giving all the power to these executives. And if you talk about executives, who is the more powerful? The CEO, chief executive.
Correct.
So one person is dominating. Imagine that one person, he or she is not ethical or has some uh, kind of fraud or something in the mind, human being at the end, right? So that 1% decisions, the company which is operating from 100 years like us can get collapse. Just 1% mistake. So we don't want 1% to dominate.
Correct.
If you see, even in the government, any government, how the constitution is done, it'll give power, the most power to, let's say, the prime minister, but we'll have other minister, the parliamentary, everybody is having some kind of power, giving the power to that person. We don't want 1% to dominate in any sector, because that 1% can become overpower and can misuse it. There should be a lot of scrutiny. Ideally,
Correct.
it should be, the power should be distributed in number of people. So the chances of being misused will reduce.
Correct. So,
Automatic
what?
thinker.
Yeah. So, NAD will look after all these things, like executive director,
Yes.
like all the directors. So they will look into that their operations, everything. They will just validate why you guys have put into money into this new ventures. So they can question, right? Like why you are doing, what are the risks, and what is your plan to mitigate all those things. They can ask, right, to the executive.
Yes.
So basically,
Their primary
hmm.
job is to scrutinize all the decisions.
Okay, but they cannot means they can stop or no? They have the authority to stop, or they can just only scrutinize and then send to report to the shareholder. Or what?
They can do, because ultimately the power is with the chair. Who is the head of the board is chair, and the chair is non-executive.
Okay. One is
So
the
they
executive directors. Okay, so like the CEO and these are the executive directors. Like they are the operational one, and
CEO,
the yeah, CEO, and then the head of the all this intelligence led services and physical, all this under them, CEO. The non-executive chair is this Pratima, Dr.
yes,
Pratima, right? So she
yes.
is the chair. So she can stop the decisions of even for CEO also, Greg, right?
You see, in a company, the most powerful persons are board members, right? And
Okay,
the board, the most powerful person is a chairperson,
correct.
and chairperson is non-executive. Will not
And
allow
chairperson,
executive to
hmm,
become the chairperson. So that
correct.
means they can stop the decision. Yes,
Okay. So basically, we are looking the board. Okay. Understand. Because in the board itself, CEO is also there, CEO is also there, and the head of every department is also there. Plus, the non-executive directors are also there. So basically, let's say 10 people, 9 people are there. So 9 people chair is Dr. Pratima as of now, right? So she
yes.
is the ultimately decision maker.
Yes, many a times it will work and decide. Maybe they'll go on voting and they'll decide. Sometimes they'll agree, sometimes disagree. But chair is very powerful. Chair is the ultimate powerful here. And why we have kept non-executive here? Because non-executive will be an independent person. Independent is a very strong word. Independent means that
Mhm.
person doesn't have any personal things to lose or gain. The CEO is not independent person. Why? Because the CEO usually be holding shares of the company, will have
Correct.
salaries coming in, bonuses coming in, lot of other
Hmm.
advantage, disadvantage based on his performance. But here,
Correct.
this person is independent, no gain, no losses. So when the person is independent, definitely the way we make decisions will be different.
Correct.
So if you see very beautifully, they have designed this.
Correct. But they might get some remuneration also, right? The non-executive chairperson also, right? Some sort
So
of,
there is a debate going on that non-executive directors should also get a remuneration based on the performance. But once you say based on the performance, that means their independence will go down. So as
Hmm.
of now, they don't get direct remuneration. They will get any small amount just for their time and money, their travel, their stay, but they don't get any major remuneration. Because if we
Yes,
give,
yes.
their independence will come down.
Yes,
And
yes. They will also, think that, okay, if I keep here long time, I will get a lot of money actually. So I will make money. So, that objective will go down. The correct. You're right.
they might partner with executives also. Okay, we are
Yes,
giving
yes, yes.
non-executive directors shares. So we'll say, okay,
Hmm.
let's do something which increases only share price.
Mm-hmm. But how these people they will come as a volunteer to to manage this big operation? Maybe
Right.
they will like the status symbol and all those stuff, right? Maybe.
Usually, these people are very well accomplished. For example, Warren Buffett is part of so many companies, non-executive directors. People are requesting Elon Musk to be part of non-executive directors. They are maybe retired civil servants, judges. So these are super qualified, well experienced, very much settled financially, right? This kind of people are part of non-executive chair,
Correct.
non-executive team.
Ah, correct. Possibly you are right. Actually, like these people are financially sound, and they have accomplished everything in their life. So basically they don't want now they just do as a helping to the organization with their skills and all, right? Means experience.
Yes. Plus, they can be still CEO in some other company. For example, our CEO, this Greg, can be a non-executive chair in other company also, no problem. Until and unless there is no problem to this job.
Correct. Correct. Got
The
it. Got it.
commitment required by non-executive directors is not very high. It's not like executive directors. They don't need to be there all 5 days, 6 days a week and doing all this. Their role is slightly low, or in fact very low, I would say. It's more about scrutinizing and being part of the committees. They're not involved in so many things.
But let's say if any resolution passed, right? So let's say something, we have to take a new project. So in that case, CEO itself cannot take the decision. Let's say, okay, he decided to go with the project, right? But Pratima, who is the chair of the board, right? She can reject or she can ask for some rectification or something like, right?
100%. So firstly, it depends what, companies also have power to decide on the rules and regulation. Some
Yes,
companies will
DO, delegation of authority, right? That also
yes,
there, right? Until this limit and all those limits, they can take this call. It should not go to the chair.
yes. The CEO will have power, but at the same time, if the CEO is taking decisions without aware of the board of directors, it's a breach. It's a breach of the policy, internal policy. Then the CEO can be removed if they are in breach of policy, or they have to give a you know clarification why that decision was taken in rush. Was it in the best interest of the company or best interest of the CEO?
Okay. Got it.
We had one question in exam, I think 2 3 years back. We just switch our supplier. In fact, our executive team, they didn't waited for the approval for non-executive directors, neither they discuss, and they just change the supplier of the fuel. Okay, why? Because they were giving almost 30 to 40% less than the market price. They got so excited and quickly switched. So the company policy said we should have at least two supplier. Okay, and the supplier
Mhm.
should be at least 5 years into the business. Will not go with the
Okay.
new.
Hmm.
But that company was only 1 2 year, and they quickly jumped just to save the cost. And what
But this
happened
is.
once you start
Hmm.
doing that thing? After a
Hmm.
year, that company went bankrupt, and now
Ah,
we don't have a supply.
correct.
So it was a very big challenge. So everything was coming on the CEO, how they took the decision, how they went against the company's policy, how they didn't get approval from other non-executive directors. So the question can be to remove the CEO, replace the CEO. Lot of things can come in. This is an ideal situation what we are talking about, but obviously things
Hmm.
will be a little different. They can definitely have an influence. Remember one thing: this is part of risk management, and risk can be mitigated, cannot be avoided.
Cannot be avoided. Yes.
We are reducing the power what we have given to the executive directors.
Hmm.
Hello, Pooja, are you back?
Yes, sir, I'm here from last. I just, I was just for 5 to 10 minutes I was away.
Okay, okay. Are you getting late for office now?
I would go at 9 o'clock. So yeah, we can do for 5 minutes
Okay, we'll do
maximum.
last 5 minutes. So this is very interesting corporate governance. Okay. Next is our CEO Greg, Chief Executive Officer Greg Hine. Greg is a qualified accountant. So what do you mean by qualified accountant? That person is a part of a professional body like CIMA, ICCA, ICI, like that. If you see, usually it's a requirement for a company. The CFO should be a qualified accountant. But our company, if you see, chairperson is also good in finance, and we have got a CEO also from financial background. It can be advantage also, but sometimes if we have people with same skills, we don't require people from same skills. In the board, if you have 10 people, there is no point having 5 people with the same skill. Ideally, you should have 10 people from 10 different skills that are complementary to each other. Then only it's better, isn't it?
We can
So
say
you
as a weakness, as a part of weakness also we can put under weakness.
So first we have to see all other skills, then we can put. Therefore, I said SWOT analysis of board is also important.
Mhm. Okay.
Let's see what other experience Greg is bringing. He trained as an auditor with a large accountancy firm. Maybe let's say Big Four. Rising to the position of that firm's managing partner in B Land, Greg left the firm to join Saefwell as CFO in 2019. Greg was promoted to the position of CEO in 2021. Recently, this guy is promoted. In executives, we don't have any problem, how long they have been working and all. But sometime there will be a challenge. Now, if you see, this person is CEO. Direct CEO company will not make anyone. This person has showed some skill. So within 3 years, we promoted to the CEO. So there is we just discussed it previously also. There is an advantage and disadvantage if we are promoting within. And same way goes when you're hiring from outside. Now, we have made somebody a CEO who just worked for the company 3 years. There might be a lot of qualified accountant in a company working for 20 years, which might dislike these decisions. They'll say, I'm working for 20 years and you didn't make me a CEO, but you made somebody from outside. Right? So that can also affect company's culture. They'll say there is no point staying in company very long because they'll just get somebody from outside for the top position. But at the same time, if we say that we want to promote within only, we'll leave the talent. There's a lot of talent available outside. We have to compromise on that. So when you're doing the SWOT, please mention this point also. Shall we keep promoting within or shall we hire from outside? Okay. Getting the point?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
This can be a very big demotivator for the people. If I quickly go to the current CFO, Sabine, okay, has a degree in economics and is a qualified accountant. This is must. She has worked for several manufacturing companies and spent several years working overseas before returning to the B Land in 2015 to join Saefwell as senior manager in finance. Sabine was promoted to CFO in 2022. Again, somebody just joined as a senior manager in finance and got promoted to CFO. So it looks like a culture that we are ready and open to hire people from outside. We are not giving them key position. We are asking them to show their talent. For example, this person was asked to be a CFO, then getting promoted to CEO. And the current CFO was first hired as senior finance manager. Your position, what role you are doing, then promoted as CFO. So you can be the next CFO of Saefwell. Okay. So like this, we have to do. So please go through the pre-scene. Especially, I would request you to spend some time on board of directors. Do the SWOT. Read everybody, what they are bringing the expertise. Then we'll discuss again. Because if you just discuss two and left, it won't be a good. We'll start from a first person again tomorrow. Okay. but request you to read. If you don't read and come, we cannot have discussions. You should be coming with the questions and you should come with the points. Spend some time on our competitors board of directors also. Okay.
Okay.
What time tomorrow?
Same time, okay. I'm okay with.
Sir, I would prefer late tomorrow.